Hello, everybody, and welcome into this segment of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here, and we're back for some summer fun. Joining us on the show, we have Jared Keene from the Metro West Daily News, Andy Barron from MyFm 101.3, and the one and only Mike Torosian back on the show. Guys, how are you?
Fantastic, Tom. Fantastic. What a great summer. And this is my first time back in a while. I can't wait to hear what I've been missing. I mean, I hear it afterwards when you let me watch it on Wednesday, but I can't wait. I can't wait to get into this. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys. Good to see you.
Hey.
It's our first time back in a while. As you know, we had pretty much just baseball this summer and not a whole lot of fun stuff to talk about with this Red Sox team, but we will get into it today. They are 54 and 56, 17 games out of the division race. And they are only 4.5 out of the wild card. So they have an outside chance at the wild card, but there's a lot of teams in the mix right now. Red Sox are seventh in the wild card race. Obviously, 3 get in this season. So they got 3 more teams in front of them to try to push up to that third spot. And we're seeing a very competitive AL East. Every single team in the AL East, except the Red Sox, is above 500. Yankees at 71 and 39, Toronto 60 and 49, Tampa 58 and 50, Baltimore even 57 and 52. And then in last place, your Red Sox 54 and 56. They made some trade deadline moves, so we'll just give those a quick mention. They traded catcher Christian Vasquez to Houston for second baseman Emmanuel Valdez and outfielder Wilson Abreu to give him a little more depth there. And they acquired Tommy Pham for a player to be named later from the Reds. They also traded left-handed pitcher Jake Dykman to the White Sox for catcher Reese McGuire. And they acquired Eric Hosmer from the Padres for pitcher Jay Grome. So they did make some trade deadline moves, which I was happy to see. I think it's still too early to tell if they're going to work out or not. But, guys, I think this season it's been pretty much a disaster for the Red Sox. They spent some money going into this year. They're expecting to be towards the top of the AL East. I don't think there's any catching the Yankees at this point. They are just too scorching hot. I mean, they've lost 5 of their last 6. They just snapped their losing streak yesterday, but I don't see them going on too many more losing streaks. But the Sox ranked in MLB bottom 5 with offensive production, that was with first base offensive production. So it was good to see them get Eric Hosmer. I think that was a great pickup. But what's your reaction to this team as we are past the midway point of the season, about 50 games left? What are your thoughts on this team? Andy, we'll start with you.
This season cannot end soon enough. This is an embarrassment.
Pretty much.
An embarrassment. There is no excuse for this. None whatsoever. The amount of money you charge for tickets, concessions, merchandise, and payroll is an embarrassment. You know your season is not good when the Baltimore Orioles are better than you. Facts.
Everyone in your division is better.
Miles better than you. Miles better than you.
This team needs to be completely dismantled. Period. Betts gone. Benintendi gone. Vasquez gone. Chris Sale is useless.
Breaking news about Chris Sale. What you tell us about
breaking? Who this?
Let it rip, guys.
He fell. He broke his wrist falling off a bike. What? And you stuck with this guy for 2 more years.
Was it a motorcycle or an actual bike?
I don't know.
It was a bicycle. Come on. He was out riding with the president. They both wiped out.
And then Bogarts is most likely gone. Who knows with Devers? Bradley's gone, even though he wasn't a good hitter, still a great defensive player. You lost 3 out of 4 to the Royals. This is unacceptable. How can anybody support this team? Seriously, gentlemen, this is not okay. The management needs to be held accountable. They put the team on the field, and somewhat Alex Cora does too. Okay, but it's not all his fault. This is right up there with 2011. I'm sorry. The fans need to start holding this team accountable because they're going to keep. They're taking advantage of you. Where are you, John Henry? Where are you? You're the owner of this team. Stop fooling us. I am sick and tired of this. This is unacceptable. This season was over on Memorial Day. It was done. I've been saying it. I don't want them to go into the playoffs. You think this team's going to beat Toronto on the road? They can't even beat Seattle. They're not even good as Cleveland. Oh, and you got Terry Francona there. Great job, guys. Great job. I am furious with this team. This is unacceptable. 15 runs to the Royals on Sunday. Give me a break.
Wasn't it 20-something to the Blue Jays a couple
28 runs.
28
to
the Blue Jays.
That is a disgrace.
The best
Awful.
The best tweet about that was from Adam Schefter. It was 28-3, and he said they got them right where they want them. Love it.
That's right. That's right.
It's a good one. That was a good one.
Tom, in your introduction, you meant, I don't think the Red Sox will catch the Yankees. Red Sox can't catch a cold right now. I mean, granted, they can get a splinter, and being out injured with a splinter, you fall off your bike to get out for the whole season. First off, it's like you have a hockey player right now that would fall off their bike. They'd be playing tonight. Okay.
Right.
That's how I am with the baseball. But at any point, right now, did we mention? I mean, here they are, they're less than 50%. Was it 54, 56?
54,
the record is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way. Woo Sox are 54 and 51. Okay, right now. And let's go down to AAA. I mean, AA. First place, the Portland Red Sox, the Sea Dogs.
Sea Dogs.
19 and 14. Okay, first place. And here we are in Boston, the championship town.
No more.
Last place.
I don't know.
Last place.
Made this town look pretty nice right now.
Brady's in Tampa, so they're the championship town. Jared, what are your thoughts on this Red Sox team, the team that is in last place in the AL East?
I honestly don't have much to add. I think Andy pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything, with how the management really has to be held accountable here for a lot of this. Sure, sometimes it's on the players. It seems like nowadays, if the Sox give up an early run, toast. No fight, no effort, no willing to come back, anything. It's like, all right, we're down. We're just going to crap the bed the rest of the game,
Yeah.
First off, the Vasquez thing was ridiculous. Him kind of finding out there or whatever, a press conference, and then having to walk over to the other dugout when they were playing the Astros. That was ridiculous. Give me a break. And then, you talk about Bradley. At least Bradley can play center field. I mean, did you guys watch Duran play center field the other day? Give me a break, man. Awful. Atrocious. Absolutely atrocious.
Jared, that's such a great point. How in the world do you leave that player in after giving up an inside the park grand slam? I've never seen anything like that.
I've never,
In the history I've been following baseball, that is little league stuff.
I'm not even a huge baseball guy. Admittedly, I'm not even a huge baseball guy these days, but that is just absolutely ridiculous.
That's a good point too you just made, because people are getting turned off by baseball. There are still people that are so PO'd about that lockout. I'm telling you right now, this game is in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Because sooner or later, people are going to stop supporting this team. I'm telling you right now, there's only so much people can take. Week 1, please get here soon enough. I'm done with this team.
I'm with you on that week 1, because I always said, let's wait till September. I was always let's get to the All-Star break. We'll see what happens, because how many times have they been first place into the All-Star break and then they lost every game after that? I mean, it's typical. So, me being the glasses half full, went ahead. Yeah, let's wait till the All-Star break. And now I'm saying, let's wait till September. And then after that, in the Park Grand Slam.
Let's wait till next season.
Now the in the Park Grand Slam made me just say, oh, I want to watch some highlight or some curling or something like that. Okay. So in the Park Grand Slam, when I first heard that happen, I was excited to watch it, to actually go and look at it. That was worse than the Little League World Series or any kind of Little League home game, when you hear that, everyone thinks, "Oh, this is amazing." You know, that player that hit it would think, "Oh, this is one of the greatest plays." It wasn't a great play. It was all errors. Oh,
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And I know what's more unbelievable, guys. This team won a championship 4 years ago.
Yep.
Which is just, and
now
pretty
we're
much
in last place in the league, miles behind every other team in the league.
And the whole roster's gone, pretty much, if you really think about it. I can't. And can you believe you got Chris Sale for 2 more years? He ain't opting out.
I know.
Why is he going anywhere? He ain't going anywhere.
We're not giving. We can't give him away.
No, exactly.
Who's going to want him?
Nobody wants him.
Boy, he's always hurt.
No,
the guy is never healthy. He's done, I think.
Let me ask you one more question. Do you bring Alex Cora back? I still think you do, because I actually like the guy. All right. But this is getting out of hand.
I'll take Tito right now. Okay.
Oh, please.
I honestly don't know. I would take him back. I also don't know if I would take him back. I'm kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I would, because I just don't blame the coach. I think a lot of this is the pitching. I think they don't have good pitching at all. They have maybe one starter and one decent one. They don't have a true ace. They don't really have a good bullpen. I think that's a big problem.
And they just threw away their leader, Vasquez, the team leader, their backbone.
Here's another thing. I told you Trevor Story was not going to work out here. This guy has been a disaster. Disaster. I told you. Guys that come from Colorado, if they're not named Todd Helton, I want nothing to do with them. That is a losing organization. He cannot handle it here. Here's another guy. Why did you get rid of Kyle Schwarber? Guy could play.
Yeah.
Why? He at least was a leader, like somewhat of a leader. I like Hosmer. I think he's okay, but
I think it's an upgrade at first base.
Well, it's an upgrade, Tom. Yeah, but still, just going through all these guys. Like,
Schwarber leads the league in home runs.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? He got it. He won a World Series with the Cubs. He brought him here. The guy was a winner. He came up big in the clutch. And you notice the Red Sox are doing these other things. They're trying to distract you with the whole David Ortiz haul, which, by the way, was absolutely incredible. David Ortiz, greatest clutch hitter in the history of baseball. That will never be duplicated again. But stop living in the past. I want to live for now. And now this team is not good. Pedro Martinez even called this team out last week. You know that's not good.
No. And it's very rare that you'll hear him call it out.
Oh, yeah.
And he should. But the one question I want to ask, you look at the AL East, everybody's above 500 except the Red Sox. I can't even remember the last time that I saw this. I do think the AL East has taken a step up.
No doubt about it.
Record-wise, it's probably the toughest division in baseball. Now, I'm not making excuses for the Red Sox. They should be much better than they are. They have a much better roster than Baltimore or Tampa, and they spent a lot more money than Baltimore or Tampa or even Toronto. So I'm not making excuses for them, but I will say this division has definitely taken a step up. And if you don't take a step up and you don't bring in some good pitchers and you don't spend some money on some good aces that could actually stay healthy, you're going to be towards the bottom of this division, because this might be a new trend for the AL East for the next few years, where you see a very competitive division like it is this year. I don't think this is going away anytime soon. I think these teams are finally starting to get better and more competitive.
Baltimore Orioles are the most improved team in Major League Baseball. It's not end of discussion. They were the worst team in the league last year. Unbelievable. Really. I mean, they seriously might get one of those wild cards.
I think when the Sox are clearly the worst team in the AL East, I think that right there alone shows how much better the division has gotten. You know, Baltimore, everybody in the division.
No doubt about it. And it's just
Toronto is a scary team.
Oh, that lineup is ridiculous.
Absolutely
how good that lineup is. The Red Sox are completely snake bitten in Toronto. They have no shot to win up there. None. No. It's just no chance, guys. But what this is, again, this is one of the worst Red Sox teams I've ever seen. 2011 was on an epic proportion, which is, to me, is unforgivable what they did. But I know I've ranted a lot about this, but I'm done. They're done. It's over. They are not. Just blow it up. It's time to start over. get me interested again, because I'm not interested in this team.
So what do you do? Keep Deverts and Bogarts, and then literally get rid of everybody else.
Yeah,
build around
Devers.
Deverts and Bogarts. I mean, you got to re-sign Devers
sure
first, and but
I like
I don't
Pavetta.
know.
Who?
This team is a disgrace.
Nathan Eovaldi, they're pretty
Oh, Devers is
good. I
a
keep guys like that.
Devers is a phenomenal player. He's an all-star player. He's one of the best players in the league. There is no question about it. But he's not. They need more. They don't have enough. It's
No,
just,
I said Pavetta.
oh, Pavetta's not. Yeah, he's okay.
Pavetta and
Yeah.
Eovaldi, I'll keep those guys.
Yeah, okay. I could give you that. It just
Maybe
least they're-
Brazier. But
oh,
not much
God.
more than that. Yeah, this team needs to be ripped apart. They're just going nowhere. They're just running in circles. And this is, I think, the worst thing that could happen to them this year. They're going to lose interest very fast. They had a lot of interest coming into the season. They were filling up the seats coming in. They're not filling them up anymore.
No.
I think after that 28-3 crushing Toronto gave them a few weeks ago, or whatever it was, I think it ended up like 28-6 or something. That's when people said, "No, I'm done. I'm not spending. I'm not going to go spend $100 for a bleacher seat and $15 for a beer anymore at Fenway."
I tell you, if you're trying to bring in more to your business, you have sales. You drop ticket prices. Is your team looking like crap? You want to bring it? I go to the stadium if I could get a $20 ticket. Or the beers were $6. I would go. I'm not going to go now.
You can go to
That'll never
other
happen,
ballparks. There's plenty of ballparks. I guarantee you could get a $20 ticket to Yankee Stadium right now. Just go
You
to an
can get
afternoon
them.
game.
A buddy of mine drives to New York when the Red Sox play there.
Yeah.
He will drive to New York spend a couple days, and he will buy tickets between $7 and $12 for when the Red Sox play the Yankees at New Yankee Stadium, and he has a blast. And he brings his kids with him.
Yeah, I
That's
went
awesome.
I went to Yankee Stadium. I was dating a woman one time. She was a Yankees fan. That didn't last very long.
Obviously,
But anyways, I went to an afternoon game at Yankee Stadium for $10 against Toronto. It was a 105 game. I was done by 405. Like, it's perfect.
And the
I mean,
Yankees have dropped their prices. When they first built the new stadium, they were the most expensive stadium to go to in the league by far. They dropped their prices substantially because they realized that people don't want to pay this
no.
to see this team. They want to go and, obviously they're willing to spend a little bit of money, but they don't want to spend ridiculous money, and they weren't filling up the seats, and they got a lot of seats in that new stadium.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they dropped their prices, and it really worked out for them. And right now, they're one of the best teams in baseball. So it's worked out good for them, and they're pretty much filling up the seats every night. They're not having the ticket sales problems they used to, but
right. They're filling up. Yeah, you say they're filling up their clubhouses. They got all their corporate sponsors. Look at all the friggin' signs. They digitally put a new sponsor on the mound when you see the pitching angle of every game. They got a new sponsor every inning there. It's like they got the sponsorships. They got all this big money coming in. Television rights, merchandising. Okay.
Yeah.
Why can't I get a hot dog for under $10? Come on.
Yep.
right, especially now when the team's just bad.
Yeah. I mean, at least
gotta
make
drop
it
some
worth
prices.
it $10. Give me like a Snappy Dog there, not this little gray looking thing that's all. Anyways.
Yeah. This team's just not keeping up with the times. Period. They're not.
No,
They're taking advantage of their customers, and I'm calling them out on it on this show.
I'll tell you what, though, they're doing
Love
a
it.
pretty good job
Love
over at Polar Park. Nice facility down there.
Polo Park is a beautiful facility. I had a chance to watch the Jared was here too. The Shrewsbury Milford game back in July. Absolutely, Polo Park. That whole area is just really up and coming, and it's going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah,
That
I
was a
can't.
strange night. That was a strange night.
It
Andy.
was. It
That was
was
a very strange.
It was.
I can't wait to see a game there. I always loved the AAA club. They always put on a good show, even in Rhode Island. Free parking, $5 tickets, sit where you want. Sausage and a soda for me and the kids, were like $7 a piece. It was great. And, I always write, now they're in Worcester and they just spent all that money, what I like to call screwing up Kelly Square. We all know they fixed it, the only 7-way intersection without a light. So they did a great job, and I expected the high prices. And everybody that's gone there has told me It is great, priced right, and they put on a great show. Not a bad seat in the house.
They
Oh, it's
do
great.
usually put on a great show, except for the game that I went to. They lost 16-0. It was pretty
Oh.
bad.
Because you were there. That's why, Tom.
Yeah,
Exactly. I'm the
Just because you were
curse.
there.
gotta leave
Yeah.
out the Tom factor.
And then the next night, I think it was 2 nights later, there was a no-hitter. They got the no-hitter.
Oh, my
Really?
God.
Michael
Really?
Waka. Michael Waka.
That's right. That's right. We talked about that on the show this past week, but
Yep.
wow. Just
Yeah,
what
that's
a
my
long
luck.
summer this has been.
That's my luck. Go down there, watch them lose 16-0. 2 nights later, they pitch a no-hitter. Unbelievable.
That's how it goes.
But yeah, it's they got a lot of fun stuff going on. Great family atmosphere. A little playground for the kids. They got some good food vendors there, so it's pretty sweet. They're doing a good job there. The minor league teams, half of the minor league teams are doing better than major league teams. So,
It's very true.
and they're
Very
certainly
true.
getting the attendance down there. Pretty packed house tonight I went to.
It's awesome.
All right, but we do want to get to a little bit of NFL. But first, we haven't really been able to comment on the Celtics moves, so we'll talk about those real quick. Celtics acquired Malcolm Brogdon, Danilo Gallinari, Roderick Thomas, and Mfiondo Capangeli. I probably mispronounced that name.
You think?
Infondo. Yeah, we'll just go with Cabangeli. He is doing well in the summer league, 14 points per game on average, 9 rebounds. So he could be an interesting piece to this team. And he only played 51. He played 51 games in 2019 for the Clippers, and the Cavs averaged 2.1 points per game. So I guess he's a pretty young player, though, expected to take a step up. So he'll be one to watch. Malcolm Brogdon is coming over from the Pacers. He averaged 19.1 points per game last season, 5.1 rebounds, 5.9 assists. And then you got the guy from Italy, Danilo Gallinari from the Atlanta Hawks, 11.7 points per game, 4.7 rebounds per game, and 1.5 assists. I like these pieces they added. It was really to add some extra padding to their bench, which I think was their huge flaw in last year's championship. They traded away Daniel Tice, which doesn't bother me at all. And a 2023 first-round pick for Brogdon. I like these pickups. I think Brogdon could be a big piece of this team. Any thoughts on the Celtics acquisitions, guys?
I'm kind of
Brogdon's
with.
a great. Oh,
Yeah.
go for it. Go for it, Mike.
I should call on someone.
Yeah, I was just going to say yes. I think Brogdon was a great pickup. You know, as with Theis, he also took Fitz and Morgan with him as well. So, you know, when you lose the 3 players for the one like that, I think this was the one to get. So, yes, I think I'm with you on that. And Gallinaro, sorry about that. Tom did it right. Yes, I'm actually looking forward. I don't know much about him, but I'm excited to see him play.
I heard he was a fan favorite in Atlanta, so I heard he's a pretty entertaining guy. Jared,
Excellent.
any thoughts?
Yeah, Brogdon's an elite pickup, I think, for this team. A player that's good enough to start. I don't even know if he's going to be for the bench. I think he could easily start for this team. He's an all-star caliber player who, again, when you average 19, 6, and 5 in the season, yeah, I mean, you can come in and start for this team probably right away. He can shoot it. He can really play make from the guard position. And I think this is just a tremendous pickup who should really fit right in with the system. Gallinari, another guy who's obviously tall, can stretch the floor, can really shoot it. Really looking forward to seeing him come in and, kind of do what he does. Kind of making it tough on the defense at 6'9", 6'10", being able to shoot it from 3 the way he does. Again, yeah, definitely a fan favorite, popular guy. Yeah, just immense job by the Celtics getting these guys, and both of them should play significant roles for this team for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I like him most of all because it addresses immediate needs. They saw that the bench was weak in the championship and in a lot of these big playoff games, and this really adds a lot of padding to the bench. And I think they're going to keep the core of this team along with these guys. So I just think they have certainly gotten stronger heading into this next season. Andy, did you have anything to add?
They made themselves better. No question about it. And listen, they didn't really need to make a lot of moves. They were 2 wins away from winning an NBA championship. Yep. They were up 2-1 in this series. All right. The Warriors were the better team. Let's just end of discussion there. Okay. But the Celtics have addressed their needs. They do not need Kevin Durant. They have enough to win the title. I really, truly believe that. Health will determine that. You're still going to have to beat the Warriors. I think we all agree with that. They're still the team to beat, but the Celtics are the team to beat in the East. There is no question about it. They're young. Listen, this team is still really young, guys. Like Brown and Tatum are still young. There is no reason why this team can't win multiple championships. There isn't. They have the pieces. They have the coach. All right. They just got to they got to figure it out. But there's no reason why they can't be the number 1 seed next year. I just, who really is better than them in the East? Miami? No. I think they're getting old. I still fear Milwaukee just because they have Giannis. I think we all agree with that. But I think the Celtics showed that he's not going to be able to beat them by himself. The Celtics are too good defensively. Stop saying that we're going to trade Robert Williams. He's one of the best defensive players in the NBA. You can't replace that. Okay. You've got to be pumped up. I'm pumped up for this team. Let's go get that championship next year. I think they have a great chance. I really do.
Enough of the Jaylen Brown trade talk as well.
Enough.
I mean, the guy has come in and really worked his butt off, really worked to improve at both ends of the floor. And I think that's shown on the court. He's not going to have a great game every game, but even LeBron doesn't have a great game every game. So,
right.
And I just to your point, Andy, I think you made a great point about this team, again, was 2 wins away from a championship, didn't need to do much, but made the right amount of moves and made the right moves. Enough said.
Listen, the Warriors are
Brogdon is a tremendous player. I think Celtics fans are going to love watching Brogdon play.
I agree. I think the Warriors are kind of on their last legs too. Listen, every team eventually comes to an end. And I just think the Celtics are next in line. How can you say that they're not? Yes, they haven't won the title yet, but they took a step forward this year. They got to the finals. They were competitive. All right. They're right there.
Yeah. And I agree wholeheartedly. If we don't see it this year, we will definitely see it the next, because this team is built this right. And if we do see it this year, then maybe we see it back to back. I think this team is going to last the next 5 years.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Let's get the first one. Let's get the first one out of
there. Yeah. But we're trying to sound smart here so we can play this next year and say, hey, remember when I said this?
Yeah, but you're right. This team is right there. They should be competing for championships for the next 5 years, no doubt about it. And also, speaking of Celtics, it was sad to see that Bill Russell passed away.
Yes, glad you mentioned that.
The greatest champion of all time. I don't care. I said it on the show this past week. I don't care how many teams are in the league. Listen. He had to defend Wilt Chamberlain, maybe the greatest player in NBA history. Celtics won 8 out of 9 championships. The guy never lost a game 7. And in fact, I saw a picture this past week that the 1957 Celtics, they practiced over at Draper Gym in Hopedale. You should have seen the packed house that was. Bill Russell, Red Auerbach, Bob Cousy. Listen, Bill Russell is, again, he's one of the greatest champions.
Icon, legend.
Yeah. Yep. And he did a lot for other things too. I think he was a good human being. I think, he was very close with Jackie Robinson. And I agree with what Magic Johnson came out this week and said, number 6 needs to be retired in the NBA. And I agree with him on that. It should be. This guy laid the foundation for, honestly, I think 6 and 13 should be retired. That's Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. They are the reason why the NBA, and you know what? Larry Bird and Magic Johnson too. Because they saved the NBA in the 80s. They did. Yeah. But nobody will win the championships that Bill Russell won. It can't happen. The only guy that's close is Tom Brady. But I still don't think he's Bill Russell.
Well, I don't know if you could really compare him.
Well, it's tough to compare.
Well, you don't have all the same records that he has. You can't. You can get 27 records in the NBA in football. But when it comes to basketball, the most you can probably do is 14. So,
I don't think a lot of people too realize just how good of an athlete Bill Russell really was. This guy, you see some of the highlights, he was faster than some track guys. He changed really the landscape of basketball. And Red Auerbach said it best. Bill Russell didn't just come to play. He played to win. That's the most, I mean, his physical level of fitness was off the charts.
Oh yeah, he's certainly one of the goats of the NBA, and I've heard as well that he was a great guy and did a lot of things for the community. So he will certainly be missed. The legendary Bill Russell, and his number should definitely be retired.
Oh, it has to be. I think eventually it will be.
Absolutely. All right, so we are in the midst of NFL preseason. We got the first Patriots preseason game coming up this week, which should be very interesting. And we had the Hall of Fame game to start things off. Why they chose the Raiders and Jaguars for the Hall of Fame game, I have no idea. It's preseason football, so you can't really put too much into it, but it was a pretty atrocious game.
Yep.
But cool to see some of the greats there. Richard Seymour was there, which was nice. They did a good interview with him. The Jags, they just looked absolutely terrible, and I just think they're going to have another 2-15 type of season. But the Patriots, I've been hearing that the offense hasn't been looking great, guys. Obviously, it's too early to tell what to expect, but I don't know about this coaching situation. I'm nervous about it. I mean, I don't even know what they're going to do. What I'm hearing is Patricia might be calling the offensive snaps, which kind of blows my mind. So I think the coaching situation is kind of a mess. And I really hope, my one thought is I really hope that they have the coaching roles determined as we head into the season, or this team could be a real mess. This division definitely took a step up this year with Tyreek Hill going to Miami. I think the Dolphins are going to be strong. The Bills, as we know, are going to be strong. And then you have the Jets. We don't really have to talk about them. They'll probably be terrible again. But I worry about this coaching situation. I just don't know if they have the coaching roles determined yet. I don't like the fact that they didn't bring in actual coordinators. And I could see this turning into a pretty big mess pretty quick. Any Patriots thoughts or general football thoughts? Jared, we'll start with you.
Patriots thoughts. First off, I think you've always been kind of a little wary of the coaching situation, but yeah, this is obviously a bit of
so.
What?
Rightfully so.
We know how Tom feels about
this could get a little weird. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, we'll see.
Do you want Matt Patricia calling offensive plays? Because I don't.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, it kind of remains to be seen, but yeah, I mean, I certainly don't want that. I'm sure I'm not alone there again, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the offense has struggled a little bit. Minus a few whatever plays here and there. It seems like Tyquan Thornton, though, has really come along and developed a little bit, which is nice. Obviously, I heard there was a bit of a fight today in practice. With Christian Barmore and David Andrews getting kicked out of practice.
I like that, a little intensity.
Yeah, and I really am high on Barmore. I think he's a really good player.
Love him.
Yeah.
But apparently the offense has just been getting annihilated, the offensive line. So yeah, I guess not surprised to see the leader of the offensive line step up probably in that situation. But yeah, I mean, again, what kind of remains to be seen. You know, again, I don't look too much into preseason football. You guys know that. But you know, when week one rolls around, we'll kind of see what the production is. And even then it'll probably take a little bit to kind of get going.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't look too much into the preseason, but there's certainly some interesting things going on, especially with the coaching situation. I don't like it. They should have just brought in an actual coordinator. Matt Patricia is not an actual coordinator. I don't even think he should be a coach. If they're going to have him call offensive snaps, I'm pretty worried about that. I'd be worried even if Belichick was calling them. Belichick's a defensive guy. Yes, he's a coaching genius. He's won a lot of huge games and had a lot of great games coaching-wise. But I don't even think he's not an offensive guy. So let him concentrate on the defense, in my opinion. Andy, any thoughts about this team as we near the first preseason game?
Well, I think you're not going to probably see a lot this first preseason game. I think the game against Carolina will tell us a little bit more. I think you all agree with me too. I don't think the Giants are a very good team, but Patriots, again, you can't really tell. But the biggest thing going into the season, where's the progression with Mac Jones? That's the key. Now, the other situation I have too is why isn't Jarrett Stidham still here?
Right.
Like,
he did pretty good for the Raiders the other night.
That was a little alarming. Okay. Because and he's with Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is gone. Now I've given Josh McDaniels a lot of grief here, but I'd still probably like to have him here, honestly, if this is what you're going to be doing. But we have no backup. Mac Jones gets hurt. This team is screwed. They're playing for a top 5 pick because Bailey Zappi and Brian Hoyer are not the answer.
Not
okay. Okay. I would have let it have Stidham here as a backup. I don't think you get a fair shake here. I think the whole thing with Tom Brady and whatnot didn't help, but that's the key for me this year. And the other key,
laugh so hard if Stidham becomes the starter for the Raiders and wins like a Super Bowl or something.
No, Derek Carr still is,
happening.
but it wouldn't be surprised if he eventually maybe did become the starter. And the other situation here too is, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's no player on this team that's like, oh, like I've got to see this guy, but I do like Devontae Parker. I think he does have talent. I don't think he's an A receiver, but I think he's a B plus.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy, he could be, because I think him and Kendrick Bourne actually might not be bad. I like Hunter Henry.
Yep.
Jonnu Smith needs to step up.
Yes.
Enough.
If he does it this year, ship him out.
Exactly. They're done. N'Keal Harry's gone now too. But there's just, James White's probably done, unfortunately. I love the guy, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be ready. I like Ramondre Stevenson and Harris, but Thornton still is very young. Can the defense make a stop?
He's still developed a little bit. I've heard Thornton has done pretty well in practice and stuff and looked pretty good. So
there's still a lot of question marks, though. We just don't really know what this team can do. But I am going to say this. If they go down and win week 1 in Miami, that's a good start for this team because you know how bad they have played. 70-yard lateral from Gronkowski with Kenyon Drake. Remember what was that? Or
all right,
one of the worst plays I've ever seen watching professional football, and it happened in Miami. Where else, right?
Yeah,
the Patriots have been stake bitten there for 40 years. But if they can go down there and win week 1 in Miami, I might feel a little bit different about this team because no one's going to predict them to win that game.
No.
Yeah, they're going to clinch, I believe, a top 2 spot if they won that game too in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the other thing too, guys, the Dolphins are in a little bit of disarray here with this whole thing with Brian Flores and Tom Brady coming out this week, and they still have the whole thing with Stephen Ross. They have a new coach.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you don't think the Patriots are going to be a little fired up for that game?
But when aren't the Dolphins in disarray?
No, they always are.
I love
They do have Tyreek Hill, though. We don't have Tyreek Hill.
That guy is just.
They got crushed on that, and nothing came of it. So you don't get Brady, you don't get Sean Payton, and you lose what? Was it 3 draft picks, including your first rounder?
Yeah.
They got absolutely crushed on that. That is hilarious. Mike, any Patriots thoughts?
Well, I mean, Andy and Jared basically summed up everything, and I agree with the statement that, like to see Mac Jones develop. But, as like Jared, I'm not a preseason guy either, because I think the only Jones I'm going to see out there is Jack, Jonathan, and Marcus, if you see them at all. And, of course, I think, we'll see more snaps out of Hoyer this preseason than, you will see out of Jones. So I don't know. I really don't care. As far as Patricia calling plays, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, you should be.
There's a lot. Yeah, but again, let's see once they stop playing the games for real. But listen, these 3 out of first 4 games are tough. That first 4 games, you got Miami on the road, you go to Pittsburgh, you got Baltimore coming in here, and then you go to Green Bay. Not going to be easy. That is not an easy start to the season.
I'll tell you what, though.
Pittsburgh isn't really going to be good this year, though. I'm not too worried
still
about
on the
Pittsburgh.
road.
Yeah, no, I agree. On the road, that is, yeah.
Yeah. On the road I agree, Jared. I think Pittsburgh's got a lot of problems, but you're
Yep.
on the road. Baltimore's good. The Patriots aren't better than the Ravens. They're not better than Green Bay.
No.
And if
Also,
you can't
we
beat the
mentioned-
Lions, then I'm done. Then I'm
N'Keal
done.
Harry goes to the Bears, and now he's injured. You guys see he hurt his foot. It's like a bad
Really?
injury or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
I think he hurt his
God.
ankle or foot.
Yeah. Well,
I
they
think-
should beat Chicago. They should beat Detroit. If you can't beat these teams, then forget
Yeah.
about it. They're done. But this
Mark
is a
my
mid-
words. N'Keal Harry comes back when the Bears play the Pats, has the best game of his career. Mark my words.
Please no.
Okay. All right.
Please
It's-
no. I'm just happy football's
happen.
back. I mean, it's the best time of year.
Yep, absolutely. I'll tell
I
you
just-
what. I do like the fact they have Miami as a first game of the
Get
season.
it out of the way.
That's a team that you can catch off guard. You know, Tyreek Hill playing his first game as a Dolphin, things might be, a little not up to par, in that first game of the season. It probably won't be for any team. But that's a good week to have them because you could really catch that team off guard, and especially with what they're going through with all this, player, what do they call it? Player interfering with Brady and Peyton, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Especially with that controversy they're dealing with, that could still be fresh in their heads for that first game of the season. So it's a good week to get Miami. I think
They just can't let
Pats have a
Tyreek
little
Hill
bit
beat
better
them.
of a chance
I mean,
to win.
Tyreek Hill's the type of player that can beat a team single-handedly pretty
Oh,
much on his own.
absolutely.
So, I mean, if they let this guy beat him on, then yeah.
Let's not forget, though, it is Tua throwing to him. It's not Mahomes anymore. So
Tua has apparently looked pretty good. So we'll see. I don't know. I tend to agree with you, but if he comes out and just slings,
it won't
I mean-
surprise me if they torch him. It won't. Who's your best cornerback? Malcolm Butler? I mean,
Oh.
it's not going to
Yeah.
surprise me at all.
Terrence Mitchell, I heard, looked pretty good. But I'm still not happy they got rid of JC Jackson.
No.
I mean,
That was the worst thing that happened in this offseason,
Agreed.
letting J.C. Jackson go.
guys, like
agreed.
he's going to make the Chargers better. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, but at least if you keep him for another year, I feel a little bit better. Like, all right, well, at least they got somebody who
Especially with Tyreek Hill in your division now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, Jared. It's a great point. I mean, I don't think Jalen Mills is the answer.
No.
No. And a little bit of a breaking news. Jameis Winston got hurt in practice for the Saints. So he could be having some more injury problems. And you saw the Saints with Winston in the first half of the season. They did pretty good. And then you saw them without, and they were terrible. So
I bet you he didn't fall off his exercise bicycle.
I don't believe that. I don't believe
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a-
The Saints have got a lot of problems too. Like they're going through a transition, but you know what? They got Tampa Bay's number. They know how to beat the Buccaneers.
Yep.
Watch out for that
this
game.
year. It's not happening. Brady's going to roll through everybody. I
Yeah.
think
Stop it.
the Bucs have an easy road. They have one of the easiest roads, I think, that Brady's ever had.
My brother's going to the game on Christmas Day out in Arizona. He just told me the other day he got tickets to the Cardinals Buccaneers game.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
a great
Christmas Day night. Yeah.
Day festivity there.
Yeah. He told me, I said, you know what, man? Yeah, it should be a good game. You know?
Yep. I'll tell you right now, I'm picking Bucs to win the Super Bowl. That I just think they are locked and loaded, and they just brought in another big name.
Oh, no, I think it's just all the Tom Brady love
Mike
affair
White.
still talking there.
Oh, how could you not love the guy?
No, I think they should be in the NFC title game, but the Rams, they're a problem for the Buccaneers. They give them problems. They know how to beat the Buccaneers.
Who did
That's
the
the team
Bucs
they
just
have to
bring
beat.
in like a few weeks
Sorry?
ago? Who did the Bucs just bring in? It was a receiver, I think.
Oh, yeah, I forget, but they're good. They're going to be right there.
Big name. Oh,
Hey,
And Evans, Godwin.
Wait.
They have Godwin. They got Mike Evans.
we have a couple of minutes. I could Google it. It's great television right here.
Yeah, again, they're going to be right there. I think it'll be them and the Rams.
Oh, they
Who
definitely
knows-
brought in somebody.
Who
Yeah.
knows with the AFC? But I mean, the AFC stacked, as we know. So
Yep.
many good teams.
AFC is not going to be easy.
Julio Jones.
They brought in Julio
Brought in
Jones.
Julio Jones.
Yeah.
How could I forget that?
Yeah, right? Especially you, Jared. You gotta know
Seriously,
these
come
things.
on.
And they got
That's not
Russell
me.
Gage. That's a great pick.
Yeah, Russell Gage is pretty good too. Yeah.
This team is loaded. Bucks are loaded. Rashard Perryman, and that's on top of Godwin and Evans and Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson. Look out. TB12 is coming for another.
How many more years does Tom Brady play? Do you think he still keeps going? I mean,
I think he's got 3 more in him.
He looks like he could play another 10.
does he stay with Tampa? Does he stay with Tampa or
I think he retires.
I think at this point, yeah. Probably.
I don't think he's going to Miami.
I'm going to tell you right now, if he goes to the Dolphins, I am just going to – that is going to be –
I'm done.
Oh, the Patriots will never be good again. There'll be a curse, and they will be terrible forever.
Him in that aqua uniform.
He'll go to the Dolphins. They'll play the Dolphins week 1. He'll light us up for like 375 and 4 TDs. Toast. Yeah. Absolutely toast.
Oh,
and that horrible Dolphins uniform.
Get it. All right, guys, time for final thoughts. So in this segment, in case you don't know, Mike, pretty much any final thoughts you got. Bring up any topic you want, talk about whatever you want. Andy, we'll start with you.
American Legion Baseball. Milford did a phenomenal job hosting the state tournament at Pheno Field. It was fantastic. A great season for the post 59 team and also for the post 75 Franklin team who went to the regional tournament. They lost a tough one to Cumberland, Rhode Island. And congratulations to post 397 Shrewsbury, 3rd World Series trip in 6 years.
Excellent.
This is just, Shrewsbury, Franklin, Milford, Leominster. These are cream of the crop Legion teams. They're all just fantastic. They're well coached. And to go to the World Series, just fantastic and great season for all these teams. Really, you're not going to find much better Legion baseball in those 4 teams in this area.
Absolutely. And Zone 4 was pretty stacked this year with the addition of Hudson. And I think there might have been another addition in there too.
Hudson was the only team.
Oh, right. Oh, Ashland was supposed to go, but they didn't have a team.
Yeah, never made it.
Rough ending for Milford, though. Rough ending. Oof. But great season by the post 59ers. A number of Hopkinton kids there too. Jared,
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, my final thought has nothing to do with sports. My final thought is I am not thrilled with Mother Nature. Enough with these 99-degree days, man. Give me a break.
I got news for you, though. The heat wave finally ended.
6 days in a row of 95 plus.
And brutal.
Yep.
Come on, man. I don't even want to do anything outside.
It's going to end.
It's ending tomorrow. I get it. It's been this summer has been brutal, man. Probably one of the most brutal I can remember.
Go jump in a pool.
I get it. Yes.
Jared, just blame my ex-girlfriends from high school with all the hairspray. They did that.
Yeah, Jared's hair is a mess. That's why he's wearing a hat because of the heat. Mike, any final thoughts?
Well, my final thoughts, I want to say goodbye to, in retirement, Steve Simos, Hopkins baseball coach, and say goodbye to Rich Cormier, our AD, and welcome Kylie Murray, who will do a great job. In bigger news, Dennis Eckersley announced his retirement from Major League Baseball after 50 years of Major League Baseball. Not bad for being 67 years old. And lastly, just tweeted out was Serena Williams will retire after the season as well. 23 Grand Slams. She's turning 41 this month, and she wants to have another child and focus on business. So she is just announced
one of the greatest female athletes of all time. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Great athlete alone. Forget about being a female, just great athlete.
Yeah, just one of the greatest athletes of all time. No doubt about it. Yeah.
Venus and Serena, they really changed women's tennis.
They changed tennis.
Yeah.
And we are trying to work in bringing Eckersley in as a Hiller's baseball commentator, but we're still in negotiation. So
yeah, he's having a hard time. He wants his own RV for the games. Just we can't do it.
Real quick too. Vince Scully.
Vince Scully.
Mine.
Oh,
legend. Again, legend.
All right, Tom, you can sign out early now.
Sorry. The voice of baseball. No one's better.
Yep.
Yes, Vince Scully, RIP. He was one of my favorite baseball commentators to listen to. He was one of the rare ones that could do games alone, and he kept it so interesting. And just the way he explained stuff and just the detail in his announcing, he was just incredible. So certainly RIP Vince Scully. He was the Dodgers broadcaster for 67 years.
Yep.
Long time. announced many classic games, and he did a number of other sports as well for some of the national networks. But he will certainly be missed. His voice will be missed. And he was one of the greatest of all time. But we are out of time. So for Mike Torosian, Jared, Andy Barron, I'm Tom Nappy. Guys, it's been a pleasure. We'll certainly do it again soon, especially as we get closer to football season, preseason action starting up this week for most teams. But for everyone at HCAM, thanks for tuning in. Take care. Be well. We'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody. The Hopkinton Parks and Recreation Commission sponsored the Dick Bliss Hopkinton Hillers Youth Basketball Summer Clinics. 4th grade through 9th grade students participated in the camp, which took place at Hopkinton Middle School's Brown Gymnasium and the Hopkinton High School Athletic Center.
So we've had a tremendous 2 weeks of boys camp. We had over 120 kids the first week of camp. We've got 90 this week of camp, and we've had a lot of fun teaching the boys skills and working on their games and having them develop as players. And we've just had a lot of fun over this summer.
How many years have these camps been going on?
So I went to the original camp that Coach Bliss coached. Everybody knows the legendary Coach Bliss here in town. I went to it when I was 8 years old over in Westboro, and he was running it in Hopkinton as well. So
10 years?
Yeah, more like 41, about 41 years, I'd say. And, I've been coaching or directing or playing at it for all 41 years. So this is what my summer's all about.
So you don't go away this summer, you just stay here?
That's it. We'll get away a little bit in August, and that's it.
Now, the last couple of years with COVID and everything, did you get a good turnout? Was this better than you thought? Or?
Yeah, so the year that we had the very beginning of the pandemic was the only year that we did not have Bliss Camp at all. So we didn't have camp that year. Last year we had a good turnout, but this year we're slowly coming through on the other end of the pandemic. We've had a boom in numbers. So we've really been pleased with how many kids we've got to coach over the course of the 2 weeks.
Throughout the week, the young athletes were divided into teams to work on drills and eventually take the floor in a tournament-style contest.
They've been great all week, working hard. We do ball handling and some passing in the morning, and then we play some competitions and some games. The kids have been great, improving all week long and working on their sportsmanship and teamwork as well. So it's been a good week. We're looking forward to the last day tomorrow.
Absolutely. And what are some of the key drills that you work on here in this camp?
We definitely focus on the skills, like ball handling and passing and good team defense and rebounding we did today. Just all the fundamentals that make a good basketball team. So that's a big thing. And then incorporating into their games and the one-on-one and three-on-three when we get into the later morning and into the afternoon.
And how long have you been assisting with this camp?
10, 11 years now. I came here when I was a kid growing up in Hopkinton. It's a great camp. It's still a couple of my favorite weeks throughout the summer. So sad to see it be almost over tomorrow, but looking forward to Championship Friday.
Well, it seems to keep growing.
Yes, absolutely. We have great numbers. The kids are awesome, and it's definitely a highlight every summer.
Several Hiller coaches as well as alum participated in running the camp.
Yeah, so that's probably one of the best things about our camp and one of the special things about our camp. We have a lot of former Hillers that come back to be coaches and to be counselors. Right now in the upper gym, we have Mark Sanborn, who's the varsity football coach. He was a camper here. And then we have a lot of the college kids back this year, like Brendan Kelly and Stephen Maffiori and Ellis Spar and all those kids. So they come back as coaches. And then we have here a lot of the high school players, the players that are going to be on our team next year as counselors. So you kind of work your way through the ranks. And it's always so fun and so nice to have the kids back from school coaching the little Hillers. It's one of my favorite things.
We caught up with a number of the students participating in the camp.
We've been mostly doing drills and warming up, but then after that, you do little games like Coca-Cola Shootout, Dribble Tag, which people can all qualify and compete in a final matchup today.
Excellent. So, yeah, we got the final matchup going on behind you. Who are you rooting for? Which team?
I'm rooting for Red Team and/or Kansas.
All right. So, What was your favorite part of camp?
My favorite part is the last day, because if you qualify for something or even just watching your friends play, it's so much fun just to commentate and or just like root for your favorite team and or play. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Putting you on the spot, but any favorite counselors?
Gotta go with Coach Golden or Coach Greco.
Okay, so
Hello, I'm Tim.
Hi, I'm Miles.
Michael.
Lucas.
Rory.
Taylor. Declan. Ryan.
Max.
Max. All right.
Maximus.
So over here, are you enjoying the camp?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite drill in the camp?
Knockout.
All right, terrific. Are you enjoying the camp?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite drill?
Knockout.
What about you in the back? What's your name?
Cameron.
You enjoying the camp?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite drill?
Knockout. It's pretty good, and my favorite drill is dribble knockout.
Terrific. You enjoying the camp?
Yep.
What's been your favorite thing about the camp? All right, how about you?
It's awesome, and my favorite one is knockout.
All right. How about you?
It's probably dribble tag, and
Awesome. You learning a lot?
yes, I am.
Mine is probably 3v4.
All right. You learning a lot about basketball in this camp?
Yeah. My favorite is the games.
At the end of the week, an award ceremony recognized the scholar athletes for their hard work on the hardwood.
Yeah, so right at the end of the camp, usually we have a little mini award ceremony. We like to recognize everybody who participated, so we make sure that every player, whether they won a competition or won the championship or not, gets recognized. So we have a certificate for each one of them. And then we give out team trophies. We have a trophy for everybody who's on the team championship. And then we have individual awards for all the different events that we've had during the week, like dribble tag and Coca-Cola shootout and knockout and one-on-one and three-on-three and all those great events.
For more information about the Dick Bliss Hiller Basketball Camp, head over to hcam.tv.